Hey guys, what's up? It's Trix. I'm gonna be doing another Rust video. Hopefully I can redeem myself from yesterday. If not, then this is gonna be another scuffed video. But let's see how it goes, innit? But yeah. So let's get right in. Whoops. So this one is the clock task, the clock exercise from last time that I didn't get to do. I'm thinking that I might understand it a bit better now, but we'll just wait and see. The other tabs I have open are just the previous exercises I did, just so that I remember what I did. So for this one, I know that I just want a new clock, right? So all I have to do is just return self bracket and then hours, minutes. So if I run that, student did not upload cargo, struct clock has no field hours. So all I need to do is inside here have hours colon I32. That's just saying it's minutes I32. I believe the U and the I just means U is unsigned and I means signed, if I'm correct. Hang on. I32 rest. I32 smallest value correspond to minus 231. Highest value is 231 minus 1. Yeah, so it's just a signed integer. That's of 32 bits. So if I run that, let me just add a semicolon at the end. Item found. So sometimes it takes a semicolon, sometimes it doesn't. Error expected item found. Where's that? On what line? Is it this? What am I doing wrong? So just hours here. You might hear like something in the background. Sorry if you do. Hours, minutes. Let me just see if that works. Warning: the field is never read. Hours. Field is never read. Clock generated to this clock does not implement. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that for now that's okay because it's starting to look like. Where is it? No, this one? No, this one? This one, where it's just returning a new self. I have that definition the same as this one up here. And, I know what I can do. Couldn't I just do this? Just so that I know where it's fine, where the actual errors are. Yeah, okay, it's fine. It's because it didn't have a thing saying that, allow unused. Fine, it's fine. Add minutes. Okay, so it's saying you should implement a clock that handles times without dates. You should be able to add and subtract minutes to it. Two clocks that represent the same time should be equal to each other. That's fine. You will need to implement the toString for the clock struct. We will be using this to display this clock state. You can either do it via implementing it directly or using the display trait. Add minutes to existing clock time. Okay, so for this I am not sure. So best thing I can do is time to cheat. Solutions. Newest. This one. Yep, hours I32, minutes I32. Let m minutes plus hours rem. Okay. At clock new self dot hours self dot minutes. Import FMT. Okay. I want to understand what it says. Okay, so the struct is fine. This struct is fine. This is where it gets interesting. Let me do the most starred one, because the most starred one probably will be the one that people think, oh yeah, this is it. This is like the best one to do. This has hours and minutes. Clock, minutes, hours times hour plus minutes divided by day. That looks very interesting, but it doesn't fulfill the criteria that I'm looking for. This is just assigning one type to the clock. This one, okay, let's see what this does. Hours, hours plus minutes div Euclid 60, rem Euclid 24, minutes rem Euclid, and then self. Okay, add minutes, self dot hours, self dot minutes plus minutes. Okay, that makes sense. So in this one, all it's doing is it's saying clock colon new, right? So instantiating a new clock item, and you're telling it that. Let me just chuck this over here, and you're saying that you want it to have the previous hours, but the previous minutes should add the current minutes. So if it's like a negative amount of minutes, then it will add negative numbers. If it's a positive amount of minutes, it'll add positive minutes, right? So that makes sense to me. Now it's in this clock bit and in the display bit. So I understand the add minutes. Add minutes makes sense to me. Now, instead of just returning self with hours and minutes, it's saying the hours is hours plus minutes dot div Euclid 60 rem Euclid 24. So let me just find where that does that. Let me just copy paste this and then try to write it in a way that I understand it. So essentially it's saying to return self, right? And then inside these brackets it has hours plus minutes dot div underscore Euclid bracket 60 dot rem underscore Euclid bracket 24. Okay, if I'm trying to understand that in my head, let me do the other line as well. Minutes dot rem underscore Euclid bracket 60. Okay, so let me Control Shift K, Control Shift K, semicolon's fine there, isn't it? Yeah, it should be fine. Let me just chuck a on there. Return self return self, right? Self dot hours, self dot minutes plus minutes, like that. Okay, let me just see if that works. Undefined found. Hours colon minutes colon. Where is it? And self dot minutes found and. Okay, hang on. I'm trying to understand this in my head. Because it's saying clock, new, right? Self hours, self minutes, plus minutes. That's basically saying that you want to return a new instance of clock. So you're calling clock, you want to call new on that clock, right? Which just returns self. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, basically, what I've just understood from that is you have the clock data type, right? You do colon because like when we were doing where is it? No, this one here. Like when we were doing F64 colon from speed, when we were trying to type convert speed, which is a unsigned 8-bit integer, to float 64-bit float, you had to call the data type colon and then call the method on it, right? All we're doing is we're calling the data type clock, we're finding a specific function which is new, then we're passing it the parameters that we want. So inside we want to pass the hours we want, which is just self the hours, and then we're passing the new minutes that we want to have, which is just self.minutes plus the minutes that have been passed to the add minutes function, which basically calls this new function, and then because the new function returns self hours with minutes, right? This on line 17 will just return this, which satisfies this self return, right? So if I run this, that's fine. Clock doesn't implement SCD FMT display. So all I got to do is, I need to grab this, use SCD FMT, right? Let me just check that at the top. That's like a use namespace in C++ or what's it called? C++ or C#. Yeah. Now it's just the FMT display, right? So let me just grab this function. I'm getting text messages. Let me just finish doing this. Okay, so implement FMT colon display because it's saying it's not currently implemented for clock. We're specifying the data type that we want to have FMT display. And all we're saying is for the FMT function, which is the format function, we pass self f mut, which is just a formatter, and then FMT result. So in here, I could just like rename it to format because this is just a format, right? Hang on, control Z. Yeah, format. And then all we're saying is we want to have the time. So we're using string interpolation to write it out, right? So before we were using format because we were just returning a string. This time we want to return a result from the FMT function, which will be a write, if that makes sense. So you're writing to console instead of just returning a string. You want to actually write out that output when the FMT function is called when you're formatting the clock. All this is doing is formatting the clock in a way where you have two string interpolations which are similar. You're saying that you want to have two numbers, and if a number is not present, so say for example you have an 8, replace just the 8 with 0, 8. So you start with a 0, end with the 8. If there's two digits, like 12, it will just have 12 instead. And all you're passing is self.hours and self.minutes. So if I run this, binary operation equals cannot be implied to clock. Where have I done that? Hang on. Do I need to do this and this? I think it's because I changed. Let me just see, because I think it's because I changed this. Let me Control Shift K. Control Shift K. Run test. No. That's very interesting. Clock, new, self hours, self minutes. Yeah. Then up here I have. Is it? I don't know why. Is it because I'm doing this instead of just saying clock? Yeah. Yeah, it should return that. I don't know why this is being weird. Is it because I don't have this? Because I know the other ones had it, but I don't know why I would need it. Oh my days. Hang on. So let me go back to the one that I was using. I was using Tai Long's. Did he have the same thing? Oh yeah, he did. Okay, let me just... So I did need the use namespace. That's fine. FMT is fine here because I'm saying I want to access the format function, the format library, and to get the display. And then all I need to do is add format here, and then format. And then if I run test, it should still say submit. No, not applicable here. Why? Huh? Run test. No. That's so weird. Why is that not working? Because it's essentially the same. Oh wait, hang on. If you know when you do something like completely stupid and you've forgotten that you need to change something else. I'm pretty sure if because I already have format, I don't need that, and I don't need that. Derive may only be applied to structs, enums, and unions. Not applicable here. Control Shift K, Control Shift K, Control Shift K. It's on Control C, Control V, Control Shift K, run tests. Yeah, I'm just stupid. I didn't even read the error properly. Run tests. Format should still work though. Cause just, yeah. Okay, I'm stupid, never mind. Confirm. Show me more. Given the list of poker hands, return the list of those hands which win. Note that the select signature of this function should return the same reference to the winning hands as were passed in, not reconstructed strings which happen to be equal. Okay, see Wikipedia for an overview of poker hands. Ranking and list of poker hands can be considered a sorting problem. Rust provides a sort method. Okay, this I want to do after I've covered some more stuff on like data types. What's in here that I learned wrong? That needs a comma. Name allergies defined multiple times. What? So what? I've done it. Pub function new. Yeah. Return. Okay, where's my solution for this? Clock my iterations. Okay, clock. Okay, that's fine. Allergies. That's fine. It's the same as that. Yeah. Hours. Yeah. Whatever. That's fine. Score U32. Return self. That. Run. It shouldn't be an issue. What does it mean? Pub struct, where? Oh, I'm fucking stupid. You know when you can't read? Oh. I was thinking, I've written this correctly, and then I didn't read that. It was already defined for me up there. I just need to move my definition. God damn it. Is allergic to self-bull. Determine the patient is allergic to colon allergen. Okay, so all I need to do is let me actually see what someone wrote for this. Solutions. Do this one. That's fine. That's fine. Did I use the U32? Yep, I did. And then is allergic to let allergen equals pointer as U32, and then self.allergens and allergens equals allergen. Allergens. Allergen. Self dot score and allergen equals allergen. I think it should be like this. Because allergen has type allergen, which does not imply the copy trait. I just want to find one that doesn't define a bunch of other nonsense. Yeah, self allergies X as U8, that's fine. U0 U8 to 8.map X unsafe SCD. Oh my god. Is this gonna be like last time? Yep, it is. God damn. Allergies, I can't do poker, I can't do that one, I can't do. Because it's physically not available over the internet. Start an editor? Okay, let's see if I can do this. Does it have tasks? It has tasks. A quotient is the output of division. Example, div mod. Okay, div mod. Used by other parts of the game. A quotient function is that. Dividend divisor. I'm just assuming that you're supposed to div mod. Yeah. 3,1. Yeah, I'm assuming you're just supposed to return the remainder. So 10 divided by 3. And then the remainder. So let me just see, because the way that I'm thinking of doing this might be very stupid. Dividend divided by divisor, dividend mod divisor. Yep, the way I was going to do it was stupid. Basically, return, control shift V, backspace, remove, run test. That's fine. Okay, evens. Remove this is only necessary to allow this function to come before the student has done any work. Okay. Okay. This will be helpful to enable a screen buffer optimization your boss promises. Iterators are items which expose the methods defined by the iterator trait. The documentation is fairly extensive because they offer many methods. Here are the most relevant properties. Iterators is an arbitrary length stream of items. They have an enumerate method which returns a tuple I, val for each value. They have a filter method which uses a closure to determine whether to yield an element of the iterator. They have a map method which uses a closure to modify elements of the iterator. Because your function can run on any kind of iterator, it uses IMPL, which is just to imply something, to signify that this is a string. It's a simple item. Likewise, the item equals t. That's just defining a type for a what's it called? A type for a data structure. Syntax just means that it doesn't matter what kind of item the iterator produces, the function can produce the even elements of any iterator. That's fine. Examples, show stock, just chain together the series of methods and everything will work out. I love how that's just what it says to do. Iter.steps b by 2. What the hell? Iter.steps by 2? How the That's tapped. How? What? Iter.enumerate. Yeah, we do not care about the value. Okay, just increase the iter by 2 each time. Naive. Yeah, I'm thinking that doesn't make sense because, like, even if you're past an odd number, then you're screwed because it's not even. Creates an iterator that gives a current iteration and value where I equals iteration index and val equals value. Okay, so iter.enumerate, then we do not care about the value for this filter, so we use underscore. I is checked in the closure as we are filtering on even index. Okay, that's what I'm gonna look at this. Dot filter, and then you're doing the absolute value of I colon underscore. So I'm guessing I is the value and the underscore is whether is present or not if you get an error. And all you want to check is I modulus 2 equals 0. So if the value divided by 2 doesn't leave a remainder, then takes a closure and creates an iterator from the closure. In this instance, it provides the value of the iterator as an instance of the iterator. So this just maps the value of I common v with v. I don't know what this does. I need to look up map. What does map do? Map, that's fine. That's item. Map. Takes a closure and creates an iterator which calls the closure on each element. Map transforms one iterator into another by means of its arguments. Something that implements fn mut produces a new iterator. If you are good at thinking in types, you think of a map like this. If you have an iterator that gives you an element of some type A, then and you want to iterate and you want an iterator or some other type B, you can use map passing a value. Oh wait, so is this just key and value? Hang on, not that one. In here, key and value, and you just want to store the value. Oh, that makes a lot of sense actually. Let me copy this. Okay. Okay. That's like really smart. This was just me being stupid because I was like, yeah, if you just divide the dividend by the divisor and it's an integer, then the way that integers work in most languages is if you divide them by each other, you won't get a decimal number, you'll just get a normal integer that's rounded. So only in some languages which handle the like type conversion for you does float come back, but most languages that are like low level, they just forget the float, like they'll just divide it for you and then just return the actual, like the number before the decimal point. That's why I say, for example, if this was 10 and 3, this would just return 9 and not 9 point, 10 and, what was it? 10 and 3, it would just return 3 instead of 3.333 or whatever it is, and then with the other one, dividend modulus divisor. If you know how the modulus operator works, then it makes sense to you. It just gets you the remainder of whatever it is. So if you do 10 and 3, the modulus of that is 1, because instead of 3 fitting into the number exactly, you have a remainder of 1. So for example, you have 10 and 2, the remainder would be 0. So all the modulus operator does is find out if there's a remainder when you divide the first number by the second number. Okay, and then the last one is pub fn Manhattan unimplemented self.abs. Okay, let me read what this is and then I'll try to understand the code for it. Calculate Manhattan distance of a... Okay, so let me just Control-Shift-K. For mapping convenience, you have a tuple struct position here. You need to implement a method Manhattan on position, which returns the Manhattan distance of that position from the origin. Okay. So self.pub. Hang on, what? Wait, what? What did it do here? Self 0. Oh, wait, it's just using the indexes. Okay. So 0 is index 1, 1 is index 2. So all it's doing is self.0.abs bracket. Wait, is it abs? .0.abs plus self.1.abs. All that's doing is just adding them together. So I was right in thinking when I was like, oh, self.pub plus self.pub. But for some reason, instead of using, because it doesn't have a variable assignment for this pub and this pub, you have to use the indexes of each one. And you're just supposed to assume that the first and second, so the first value and the second value are assigned index 0, index 1, I'm assuming. Yes. Just because I know I need to add the returns because I know it's gonna bother me later. Oh no, it's a scuffed video again. Always. Can't do poker, can't do allergies, can't do this one. Role playing. Okay. How long have I been going for? 30 minutes. That's fine. It's just because I'm stupid. Oh, there's just a lot. Okay. You're working on implements role playing game. The player's character is represented by the following: health, mana, and level. Players in this game must reach level 10 before they unlock a mana pool so that they can start casting spells. Before that point, the player's mana is none. Okay, so mana is initially none. You're working on 2 pieces of functionality in this game: the revive mechanic and the spell mechanic. The revive method should check to ensure the player is indeed dead. Their health has reached 0. So, to check if the player's health is 0, all I'm going to do is do let health equal self.health, right? Okay, and if they are, the method should return a new player instance with 100 health. So, if health equals oh wait, why am I going to do that? If self.health equals 0, then I just want to return player colon new with 100 self.mana and self.level. If the player's okay, the method should return a player with 100. If the player's level is 10 or above, they should also be revived with 100 mana. If self.level is greater than or equal to 10, then I want to return player colon new bracket 100 comma self Wait, and then they want to have 100 mana and self dot level. If the player's level is below 10, their mana should be none. Else, push of K, return player, colon new, bracket, so their health should be 100, their mana should be 0, and their level should be the same. The advantage should preserve the player's level. If self.health equals 0. And then else. Otherwise, return self. Self.health, self.mana, self.level. Right, if I run tests, does that work? Expected identifier. Oh. Ash. Whoops. My hair keeps falling out. I'm an old man now. Health. Mana. And level. Run. And player in the card. No function also suited item named new found for structure player. Really? There's no new. That's so tapped. What if, okay, I'm gonna try doing something like small brain but big brain at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna do this, right? And then just tab this in twice. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change health to 100. I know this is like cumbersome, but for some reason this is how my brain thinks it should look. And then in here, same thing. Oh no, this is very long. 100, 0. And then Control F-K. Run test. Mana 100 expected enum option. Mana option. U32. But what are the options for mana? Oh. I might need to do a bit of cheating, you know? Because I thought my logic makes sense. I don't know what. Because it's asking for, you know. Yeah. What the hell? Okay, hang on. Okay, yeah. This one looks like it's fine. Option player, if self-health 0, return none. Otherwise, some player health 100 if self.level less than what the f. Hang on. This self. Okay, let me remove this and then just copy paste what they've written, because what they've written is like okay, let me look at this. If self.health is greater than 0, return none. Yeah, so if their health is greater than 0, you don't want them to revive, so you just return none. Otherwise, some, because the only option that's here is some or none, you return some with a player which has a health of 100, because in both circumstances their health needs to be 100, and their mana. Okay, wait, hang on, let me break this into multiple paragraphs because my head hurts looking at this. Okay, mana. Mana is if their level is less than 10, then their mana is none. Otherwise, their mana should be something, and then their level is just self.level, right? Let me do a like that, and then that's fine, and then like this, and like this. Run tests. Expected enum option found. What the fuck? What? Okay. Run tests. That should work. I'm assuming because of the sum, I can't have white space. Maybe. What's the other one? If the player has a mana, okay. The player does not have access. Okay. The cast spell must take immutable reference to the player as well as a mana cost parameter, indicating how much mana the spell costs. It returns the amount of damage that the cast spell performs, which will always be 2 times the mana cost of the spell successfully cast. If the player does not have access to a mana pool, attempting to cast the spell must decrease their health by mana cost of the spell. The damage return must be 0. Not all wizards cost spell 5/0, and yet health 74, none. So okay, let me look at this. So they just use a match, which is basically like a case statement. It's a fancy case statement. That's the best way I can explain it. So let's copy paste and try to understand this. So you're checking their mana. If they have mana, then all you want to do is, if their mana is less than the mana cost, you want to return 0, right? And then their mana is equal to the option of sum, because their mana is not 0 yet, and you want to do mana minus the mana cost, and then you want to do 2 times mana cost. I don't know what this 2 times mana cost is for, but let's just go with it. If their mana is none, then you want their health to be equal to their health, and then minus, and then you're checking for if their health is less than the mana cost, which is just saying that you want to minus their current health, so their health is 0. Otherwise, you want to reduce their health by the actual cost of the mana. So if I run this test, I don't know if this is going to work. Why does it have 2 times mana, 2 underscore mana cost? Shouldn't this just return underscore self.mana, and this should just return self.health? Does it say somewhere that if the pool has a damage return must be 0? Yeah, that's what this is, 0. If the player has a mana pool but insufficient mana, the measure should not affect the pool, but instead return 0. So I'm assuming this is what this is. Otherwise, the mana cost should be reduced by the player's mana pool, and the appropriate amount of damage should be returned. Oh, so I'm assuming this is damage then. I think. Mark is complete. Confirm. Show me more concept. Okay. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Okay, that's 3 of them. This was such a scuffed video again of me trying to learn Rust, but I don't understand. Like, lots of the other ones have like a whole like talking like tutorial thing that's like, oh, do task 1, do task 2, do task 3, and it gives you hints and stuff. Like, I think the low power embedded game one did have one. Hang on, let me see. Yeah, this was just me being stupid when I was trying to do it. But when looking at the actual like like solution. I understood it when I read it, and I was able to explain it. This clock one, this I ripped from this. Like the self bit, I understand. This div Euclid and rem Euclid, I have no idea what it does. I'm assuming div Euclid is just divide this minutes by 60 because there's 60 minutes in an hour, and then rem Euclid is to account for days, and then rem Euclid rem Euclid 24 to account for a day because there's 24 hours in a day, and then rem Euclid 60 to account for the 60 minutes. I don't know. That's fine, and this format is fine because we've covered string interpolation before, and this we covered in another video for the new function. I've forgotten which one it is. Where is it? Self new. Believe it's somewhere. Oh no, for that new function we covered it from this bit where we're doing colon. That's fine. What else? For this low power embed, this made sense. This was just me being stupid. I understand streams, but I didn't realize that streams exist in Rust 2 because it's so low level. Like, and then this is just, I didn't understand that these were assigned as indexes. I'm assuming that if it doesn't have a variable name, then it's just going to assign an index to each dropped element. So it's going to just treat it like a list or an array. And then for this role-playing game, this was just me being like, I seriously didn't understand why any of my logic wasn't working, because I think it's just because it had this option enum. Yeah, because it's using this option enum, I just didn't understand it. And then this U30, unsigned U32, I didn't understand why I was returning this. Like, okay, I understand this return 0, and I understand this return 0, but why is it returning 2 times mana cost? That's one thing I want someone to just explain. If they do, that's great. If not, then I guess we'll move on. The next ones that we're going to do is magazine cutout. Resistor color we can't do because it's not available online, but we'll do magazine cutout, short Fibonacci sequence, and then RPN calculator. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment down below if you have any tips on how I can learn Rust better or how I can improve when I'm coding in Rust. If you have any advice or tips about learning new programming languages, please leave a comment down below. If you want me to do another programming language or another exercise or another website or whatever, or you want to see any other type of content, please leave a comment down below. If you liked the video, please leave a like on the video. If you disliked the video, please leave a dislike on the video and leave a comment down below telling me how you want me to improve. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.